Hello YouTube land! My name is KestalKayden and today we're going over a bit of a mod spotlight on Mystcraft. Now if you haven't actually had a chance to try it, I suggest you do. To get started, you'd want to actually install it using the forge mod method that I have on my channel. The annotation to that is up above. Now, if you grew up around the same time that I did, you would have probably heard of the Myst series. Not only Myst, but also Riven, a sequel to Myst, and all that other stuff. It is amazing. It revolves around these types of books which allow you to basically transport to different ages. But you have to be very careful because if those books get destroyed or if you don't have enough books to get back, etc., you might actually get lost in that age. It's actually quite fun. To get started, there's actually a couple things to keep in mind. There's going to be two new main items. Well, there's more, but these are going to be the main ones. So I'm going to be switching to here. The first one is called a link modifier, and yes, it is very expensive. It requires, 8 diamond blocks and 1 gold block. It is very, very expensive. Is it worth it? Yeah. Once you get enough for it, I do suggest you grab it. It is awesome. The next thing on the list, where is that? The desk. And that is what that is right there. And again, we're just going to head over to the desk. And this one's actually not half bad. This you could easily do. And I mean, the desk is actually important for the linking books, or sorry, for the books that you actually create, the descriptive books. So let's get in on that. There are two types of books. One which is a linking book, which basically teleports you to where that linking book is first created. So I created a spot right here for it specifically. To create a linking book, you just stick a book inside the crafting table, and here you'll see linking book. So we have created a linking book to this exact location. It takes 3 variables. It takes the direction you're looking at, the world that you're in, which is the overworld, or in this case, the age that you're in, and, your exact position. So yes, direction, position, and location, well, world. Now, keep in mind that you cannot use this while in the same dimension at this point. I will show you how to change that later on. However, for now, we're going to be going over again some of the basics. Now that we have this set up, we're actually going to create a couple of other things. Actually, I might actually switch into creative mode for this. I'm first going to actually find the exact recipes for them so you can actually see them. Where is this? Okay, so there's a few things that you can create. You can create a book stand, which is just basically a stick or 2 sticks and any type of plank. It'll create a book stand for you. Or you can create something a little bit more fancy, and it's called a lectern. You've probably seen these before, and they can also hold your books as well. So I'm actually going to be creating a few of each, just so we can actually play around with this in a little bit. First, we'd want the lectern. I'm going to grab a few of those. I no longer need the writing desk or that. I will also grab, what was that? The couple of book stands. Now, as you can see even right here, that they include other items as well, which I will get into. We're going to be getting to that, don't worry. Don't worry, we'll get to that. We're actually just going to be creating some fence posts, etc., just so you guys can kind of see what this is all about. So these are book stands. These are the bread and butter. You would want these because, well, if you don't, then the books get dropped onto the ground. And when that happens, well, the books can eventually get destroyed, and you definitely do not want that. Okay, so we have, what, 4 here, 8 plus 3. Okay, so that should be good enough for now. You'd want to hold on to the linking book. Do not lose this linking book because it'll bring us over here, which is exactly what we want. Let's see here. I think it's time to actually create a descriptive book, which is the second type of book. This is, in fact, the book that actually sends you to another dimension. And although people say that there is an unlimited amount of dimensions or ages that you can transport to, there's about, well, there's a couple billion at least. I forget the exact number. It's to do with the mathematical, or sorry, computerized based long int, I think it is, which ends on a couple of billion. So you don't have to worry about it. The programmers in the crowd probably know what I'm talking about, though. Okay, so you basically add a feather onto a book to equal a descriptive book. Now note that, guess what? You do not know where you're going or anything like that, which is perfectly fine. It is just called age 2. And yeah, as you load it up, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick it over here. Why not? So this is your age 2 type of thing. So do note that there are no symbols here, no nothing, no pictures. As soon as you go to the age, you will then see what symbols there are, which is perfect for you. So we're going to head to the age. To do that, all you have to do is just click on the black. As you can see, this world is starting to get created. It will take a couple seconds to go through. And here we have it. This is the platform that you kind of get automatically landed on. It's automatically created. There's mining fatigue. Ooh, haven't seen that one in a while. But yeah, it looks like a fairly decent map, I guess. So what we're going to do is take our linking book and head back. So now that this links to the overworld, all you have to do is just, click it. There you have it. So you get sent back. Note that, I actually already did that wrong. Your book is now on the floor. Keep that in mind. So you'll want to create quite a few linking books. So to do that, again, you have to go to the location that you want. Let's say this time I want to actually face it. Create another linking book, and off you go. So we're going to actually head back to age 2. As you can see, well, I'll show you the symbols in a minute. I'm just going to go pick this one up. So we shall pick it up, and we shall create a book stand right here. Why not? Okay, so now it will not go onto the floor. It'll stay on the book stand, which is what you want because it will not lose its durability, and the world won't get destroyed. That's pretty much exactly what you want. Okay, so now that we have that, let's go look at some of the symbols. So now that we actually went to the age, there are some symbols that are shown on your book. Now these are the symbols that you will actually be able to play with in the near future. You'll actually be able to customize what your ages will look like, which is amazing, personally. Okay, so we have a single biome, which means that that single biome that we saw is the biome type that's covering the whole entire map, which is actually kind of neat. And it's the plains biome. So it'll only be the plains biome. There won't be any desert, there won't be any snow, there won't be jungle, there won't be anything. Just plains. The next one is standard lighting. There are a couple different types of lighting. So you'll have your standard, you'll have your highlight, you'll have your low light, and then you can also go into other things like, internal day, eternal night, etc., etc. Slow weather. So what slow weather is, for example, in this case, is that the weather will last a lot longer. Whether it's sunny, it'll last longer. Whether it is rainy, that will last a lot longer as well. Eternal day, which means that there is no nighttime, which actually, this could be actually a fairly decent kind of town area thingy where you'd want to actually build a house. And then standard terrain, which, there's flat, there's a whole bunch of other stuff. They even have like skylands and stuff in here. So that is how you create a descriptive book, and that's how you actually go to the actual locations. So what I'm going to do is actually create another descriptive book just so we can get some extra. Actually, I'm going to create a few of them. This is just so we can get some extra stuff in here, so we can see what the differences are. After this, I will actually show you how to, where to go from there. Let's leave it at that, because these are just random ages that you have no control over whatsoever. They're completely random. They're being generated right around you. And this one, oh boy. This one looks actually rather interesting. Holy, as you can see, it's not exactly the most stable thing. Well, actually, it's just gravel that fell to the ground. But I mean, is this like a Skylands type of thing? Yes, no, it's not. So what? This is some kind of weird cave-like thing, which is fine. I mean, it's perfectly fine. So we're actually going to head back to the area. This time I'll actually use that lectern thingy. And we'll place the linking book here, which is fine because, we have another one. Here's the thing. Do not leave home without a linking book. If you do, you may get trapped. And you really don't want to get trapped, do you? So in reality, I'd actually probably create a few of these just so you don't accidentally goof up. because I've done that before during this tutorial and I had to restart. Yeah, not the funnest thing in the world. Anyway, we're now going to go at age 4, last one, just to kind of see what the difference is. If there are any differences, it could just be a plains biome. Ooh, mushroom biome, and okay, good, there's no gravel above me. And again, it's that underworld cave-like thing. So again, that's also a little bit different, and that's fine. We now have a couple of different types of worlds. We're actually going to switch back to here, and we shall have a little bit of fun with the next step. So, in fact, the next step, we're actually going to be switching into creative mode. The next step is we're going to be looking for something called a notebook, which is the text search. Oh, okay. The notebook. So, actually, this one was actually kind of easy. All you have to do is create 9 pieces of paper. We're actually going to be switching back into survival mode for a second, just so we can create a regular notebook, but then we can actually get a creative notebook, and I'll show you what the difference is between those. So, first and foremost, we're actually going to be grabbing some paper. I know that's more than I needed, but besides the point, we're also going to be grabbing a crafting table, because I forgot to create one of those. I'll just stick it over here. Right. Okay, now that we are back in, survival mode, we shall create a notebook. And this is where the desk comes in handy. So, this is your notebook. Wait. This is the desk. So, you'll want to put the notebook right there. Can it stay in there? Yes, it can. That's perfect. So, what we're going to do is we are going to grab each of these books. And as you can see, there are different symbols on them, which is actually really nice. So you have your extreme hills, you have your mushroom, you have your jungle, you have chromatic sunsets, etc., etc. So a lot of these are actually kind of nice. Cave world, that's the one that happened. Okay, so we'll actually go over most of the options in a bit. But now that the notebook is in here, all you have to do is just kind of place the descriptive book in there. As soon as you place it in there, look what happens. Yeah, so it's kind of nice. So you have all of these biomes in here, but now look what happens when you actually place more stuff in here. So now you have, it's basically like an encyclopedia. So the more books that you create, the more that will show up in here. Isn't that kind of neat? I thought so anyway. So here we are. And yeah, we have a whole bunch of different planes and a whole bunch of other stuff. So what I'm going to do now is actually quickly switch over to creative mode. We're actually going to get a notebook from here. Now, this is for those that want to cheat. I wouldn't recommend it because it does kind of ruin all the fun. But if you create a notebook in creative mode, you have every single option everywhere. But note that I still have the other notebook as well, so just keep that in mind. Now that we actually played around with these, I'm just going to actually place these back on here, so just give me a second. Chitin. Okay. And I'll show you what this one is in a minute as well, or in a couple minutes anyway. We're actually going to go over some of the actual biomes that you can actually check in here. So, the next step is actually creating more of these books. What we're going to do is, again, head back to survival. So we will create a descriptive book. Note that I'm not going to the area age yet, which is what we need. And then you'd want to stick it in here. Note that this is currently blank. There are no symbols, which is what we need. So let's call this one Ivorous. Why not? You'd actually be able to go through and actually pick what you'd want. But the first one that you'd want to select is the biome controller. There's actually a few different types of things in here. There's checkerboard, huge biomes, large biomes, medium biomes, which is regular biomes. Native biome controller, which is, yeah, and single biomes, which is like only one biome. Small biomes and tiny biomes, which are hilarious, which I'll actually test out as well. So we want huge biomes. Note, as soon as you enter it in, you cannot get rid of it, and that's fine by me. It's not an issue. We want, let's see, we want, I don't know, what do we want? Plains biome for sure. We want, let's have a sky biome. Let's have swampland. Let's have a hell biome. Why not? So these are the different types of biomes you can have. And keep in mind that depending on how you actually create these, the worlds can be very unstable. And by unstable, you'll start seeing like sinkholes, which will start to erode your, whole entire experience. And that's no fun. Lighting, we want it to be extra bright. And what this will do is it literally will just do what it says. It'll make it extra bright. Let's see. This is what you want the sky to be. So you have things like black clouds, black fog, black sky, black sunset. You have everything here. Because I am, weird, I want to have a little bit of fun. I want black sky, black fog. Let's see. Red clouds. We're going to make this one look a little dangerous, especially with that hell biome. Why not? Terrain features. These are the things that you'd want. I do want lots of crystals. Why not? Some glowstone crystals. Huge trees, lakes. I don't really care about lava lakes. Mine shafts, nah, we're not going to be doing any digging at the moment. Obelisks, these are actually kind of interesting. Ravines and star fissures. We will have one of those just for funsies. And wooden tendrils. Oh, well, it's too late. I already placed it in there. So this is actually not going to be a very stable world because of the amount of stuff that I'm putting in here, by the way, just so you guys know. And here are the different types of terrains. You saw cave world twice. You saw regular once. This is basically just like a super flat. So that's kind of neat as well. Void, absolutely nothing. Nothing's in the void. So it will negate any of your options here. And it's actually kind of a neat way to create something from scratch completely. I don't know. I kind of like the idea of a void world. But that's just me. I'm also going to set it to eternal day. And here's another thing you can do. You can actually slow down time. So instead of the regular, I think it's what, 10 minutes per day cycle or 15. I don't remember exactly how much. It'll kind of be almost double that. Not necessarily, but you get the idea. I don't really want any weather, so I'm going to select no weather. But as you can see, this basically goes over any of the options that you want. And a world modifier. We have accelerated, charged, etc. Dense ores, which is actually really nice. Charged is basically eternal lightning kind of storm. Accelerated, well, I think the amount of ticks that monsters have and that growing things have are accelerated, so that should be something to keep in mind. Meteors, I will test out in a different world. A scorched surface, well, you kind of get the idea. Skylands is an interesting one. And spontaneous explosions. We will definitely test that one out. But yeah, I think that's about it. This is Ivorus. This is the new place that we're going to be going to, and we do have a linking book, so we are safe. Let's go. Again, this world will not be too stable, but it'll be okay for now. For now. A lot has to load up in this case, so we'll have to give it a couple minutes. There we go. Check this place out. So it's nothing but black, and this hasn't rendered yet, so give it a couple minutes. But the reason why I created these crystals, these crystals here is because we actually have to get rid of them. We are going to harvest a bunch of crystals because we're actually going to be needing those as well. So this is actually going to be a fairly long tutorial. I'd probably estimate around 30 minutes or so. So this is probably my longest spotlight, which I honestly don't mind. I want to do longer spotlights just to kind of have some fun with you guys, etc., etc. I'm just going to grab a few more of these, but as you can see, everything is in fact here. Animals are here, water is here, all the biomes that you want are here. And as I mentioned before, we actually enabled glowstone crystals as well, so that's there. Look at the trees. These are awesome. I wonder if I can find those wooden tendrils that I activated. Well, if not, I will do it in the other one, so it's fine. What I'm going to do is actually try to head back and find my way to my entrance, or my platform. I don't necessarily need to find it because I can just create a new world, but hey, why not? We're here. Always put a linking book back so you don't get trapped. What's over? Oh no, that's just glowstone. Okay, we are heading back. Let's create another world. Actually, for now, I shall put these crystals in here because that goes into a different topic altogether, which is portals, which is upcoming. Okay, so we want to create another book. We're going to create one right here. We're also going to be creating a linking book, which I want to go back here. I don't know. I kind of like having a single spawn point for my linking book. I don't know why I put it outside. I probably shouldn't have, but that's okay. Just in case if I forget for later. Okay, we shall place it in here. Descriptive age. We shall call this Hellfire. Why not? Medium biomes. Hell. Ice. Desert and desert hills. We'll want... No, we already selected biomes. Lighting, we'll want standard lighting. I don't want to do it too dark because then you guys won't be able to see. I already did the black sky, so... Let's see, what do we got here? Red sky, red fog, red sunset, white clouds. Why not? Terrain features, we will want star fissure for sure, wooden tendrils. I don't really care much about the rest of them. Oh, obelisks, why not? Terrain generation, we want standard terrain. Time will be normal time and eternal day. Weather, we want no weather. We want meteors and skylands. Why not? So this is going to be an interesting one, especially seeing as it's a Hellfire Skylands. Yeah. You'll see. It probably will not be as stable either, but hey, why not? Let's go into it. Oh, and as you can see, even by that alone, it looked a little bit different. Oh, a little laggy, but that's okay. These are the wooden tendrils everywhere. And as soon as those load up, you'll actually be able to see a little bit more of them. Whoa, I almost fell off. That would have been embarrassing. That would have been really embarrassing. Ooh, what's that? Oh, it's just ice. But yeah, so this is kind of like the Skylands plugin for Bucket or anything like that. It's a little bit different. You can actually include things like dense ores everywhere. Whoa, that is not safe. But yeah, you get the idea. Yeah, this area is definitely not safe. I do not want to stay in here for that long. I'm telling you that right now. But yeah, it's pretty neat. I'm not going to lie. Anyway, I'll show you the next couple things you can actually do with certain stuff. So we shall use this linking book. Now, note when you go to an area and then you, or like go to an age and then you use the linking book, your linking book drops unless it's on a pedestal, where there's technically a way around that. What you'd want to do is go to this thing, and this is where things actually happen. There's a couple of different options here, which first off you can actually just put your book into. There is intralinking, which lets you travel between the same dimensions. So if I were to take that right now, I'd be able to, whoopsies, this would now be black, which means I can actually just click on it wherever I am, regardless. So this is like an insta spawn, which is actually kind of nice, except guess what? It does in fact drop the book. However, you can fix that. There's another one, which I'll quickly show you, is following. The following will let you not drop your book. It'll stick in your inventory. Isn't that kind of neat? I'd like to think so anyway. So, what are some of the other options? Well, it's time to show you, isn't it? Okay, so as you can see, as soon as I put the book back in, these are indented in, which is perfectly fine. Generate platform will basically, well, I'll get to that in a minute. Disarm. You wouldn't really have much use for this in single player, but if you're running like a Feed the Beast server, some kind of Minecraft server with this on it, and you wanted to kind of trap or trick players, I'll show you what you can do. I'm going to go really close to it so I don't lose my stuff altogether, but okay, so what Disarm will do is you'll lose all of your stuff. Now, because I teleported from here, it's actually not that bad, but imagine if you were on a different planet. Or not a different planet, but like a different age. That would pretty much mess you over. So, I mean, if somebody's going through your inventory and taking the wrong book and you title it something neat and whatever, or, then weird things can happen. So I'm actually going to disable, where is it, disarm. Note that you can also name it to certain things. So if you want this to be home camp, there you go. It's called home camp. Now, maintain momentum. So if you're kind of running, oopsies, it's still in here. So for example, if you're kind of running, or if you put your linking book above the ground and you're running, it'll keep the momentum. So this is actually a bad example, seeing as, you know. Okay, but let's say you're falling off of a high place and you click on it, and if the book has momentum on it, you'll splat onto the floor. Rather than portal safely here, for example. I mean, there's some uses for it. I personally don't really use it too much, so we're just going to ignore it. Generate platform is kind of like the same thing, but if you're in the air, what will happen is if you linked in the air, which actually I could probably show you guys that really quickly. That one wouldn't be too hard to demonstrate. Okay, so I don't want to create a linking book yet. Let's say... Okay, I'm going to head over to creative mode for a minute. Okay, let's say you create a linking book here. Game mode 0. Create a linking book here, which means that when you teleport back here, that is where it'll be, right? Well, here's the thing. What happens then if I completely remove these platforms or these blocks? Normally, which I'll show you, and it will cause some damage to me, so be happy that I'm going to be showing this to you. Let's set it to following so I don't lose it, and intra-dimension, sorry, or intra-dimension linking. So what'll happen if I click on it? I fall and do some damage. However, if you set the platform here, generate platform, this is kind of almost like a safety precaution. So if I hit it, guess what? It actually creates a stone platform for me. That could be useful. I'm not saying that it's not, but it could definitely be useful. Okay, so we now have those. I can probably get rid of a lot of this stuff now. Almost done, almost done. There's a few more concepts which I kind of want to go through really quickly. I don't need the book. So, let's create a descriptive book. And let's create a linking book. Why not, right? Right. Okay, so we're going to go and do one more age. And then I get to show you portals really quickly. So let's have a single biome, why not? And we will have plains. It'll be something very simple. I just want to create it just so I can show you guys the next step. Oh, I forgot to also show you guys star fissures. Whoops. So I can quickly show you guys star fissures as well. Wait. Okay, so it's a flat. I don't know if it might not be star fissure then. But that's okay. What a star fissure is basically a hole in the ground that you can fall into, and it will teleport you back. It's right next to the spawn point, so you have to be really careful, but you will definitely be able to see them. Dense ores. This will create a large instability, so you'll actually be able to see what's going on with that. Whoa, why am I drunk and nauseous and OMG? Ow. What the heck happened to me? Well, and guess what? Your world was not very stable, was it? So we can pick this up and we can demolish it. Sorry about the little bit of nausea that probably caused a few of you. So we're going to quickly create one more world. This time it will not be horrible, but as you can see, that definitely did cause some issues. Oops, wrong one actually. This is the one that I wanted. Okay, so we will create... But yes, okay, so just to go back to that, if your world starts getting like that, you run, you get out, because sooner or later that world will actually collapse. It'll destroy the book and it'll destroy and delete the world. If you're in there, you're pretty much dead. So let's try to avoid that. Normal fog, normal sky color, white clouds. And chromatic sunset. Why not? Okay. So actually now I can show you star fissure because I'm going to make sure not to select flat terrain. Then one last one that I'll show you will be void as well. No weather. It'll be happy. You get the idea of spontaneous explosions, and meteors are just basically, you know, balls of fire. And a whole bunch of other stuff, which is actually kind of neat, but still. Okay, so I'm going to be placing it over here. Oh, see what I almost did? I forgot a linking book. That could have been embarrassing. Linking? Gonna actually grab a few more of those. There we go. Let's go. There we go. And as you can see, there's no negative effects, so this world is generally a little bit more stable than the others. Which is nice, because that last world was devastating to me. Okay, so... Oops, there we go. I'm actually going to switch over to creative mode really quickly, see if I can locate the star fissure. It's usually right around the area, but... Oh, here it is. Okay, so this is known as a star fissure. Now, normally speaking, you won't be able to really tell that this is a star fissure, but trust me, it is. It goes right down, it goes through bedrock pretty well, it goes right to bedrock. So let's go. Leap of faith. See? Now, the downside to this, and the only main downside to this, is it sends you back to the world's spawn point, not your home or your bed. So do keep that in mind. You'd definitely want to keep a linking book on you. Well, not linking book. Maybe you'd actually want to place a linking book, interdimension linking book, near the spawn point, which will definitely help the transition. And that's only if you forget a linking book there. So, I mean, it's just an extra bit of precaution. Let's leave it at that. And the last but not least, we will have a little bit of fun with... Well, actually, first I want to actually create another... Where's my crafting book? I want to create a few more linking books, but yes, we will have one more bit of fun with Void, just to kind of show you what it is. It's kind of fun. It's going to be very basic, and basically Void overrides a lot, so you don't really have to worry too much about the Void. Let's just say huge biome. Again, it doesn't really matter. I'll leave it to bright. Excuse me. In all honesty, that doesn't matter, but let's change it to white sky, white fog, white clouds. None of this matters at all whatsoever. Void. Time. Eternal day. Normal time. No weather. And world modifier. Absolutely nada. Well, let's do it accelerated. I probably should have renamed it, but that's okay. Time to go into the void. Oh, nausea. So it's not the most stable thing. Oh, it's not stable. No. But you get the idea. So it's probably because I selected huge biomes, now that I think about it. Ugh. Silly nausea. Not for me. Okay, so what we're actually going to be doing is grabbing... was this the good one? No, that's Hellfire. I want Ivorous, which was the nice one. Yeah, that was kind of the nicest one, which is fine. Okay, so I'm going to show you the next step in this little adventure. It's nice. It's really, really nice. Actually, it's the last step, really. But what we're going to be doing is actually just checking out what those crystals are for, because, you know, yeah, they're randomly there. Actually, I kind of skipped over them. Okay, so this is what it'll be. You take these crystals in a ring to equal a book receptacle, which is kind of the basis of the next part, which is like a portal. So to do that, we'll actually head over to our crafting table, stick a ring of these all the way around. This will create that receptacle, which is what we want. We have our Ivorous booklet, which is nice. And what we're going to do right now is just simply this. We shall take the crystal. Do I have enough of that? Actually, I am going to grab some more just in case. And I'm in creative mode, so I can. Where are these? Crystals. Here we are. What you'll want to do is arrange them in a way where it creates a frame that you can actually walk through. It doesn't have to be the size of the nether portal. It could be as big or as small as you want. Now, I completely forgot that I was actually in creative mode, so it wouldn't have actually mattered, but as long as there is a ring across, and I'll show you an alternative, which you can easily do, you can do basically something like that, and it will still work. I'll actually use this one anyway, so there we go. Now, what you want to do with the receptacle is just stick it on the side. Right there. Kind of looks like that. It's kind of neat. And all you got to really do is put in a descriptive book inside. So let's say you're traveling with friends or party members. Just stick the book in there. And, ooh, it's a nice glowy texture. Why not? So you just walk through. And there you have it. And this is that red sky thing. It'll take a while to render, so I'm actually just going to head back. And this is where all the other crystals are formed anyway. Now, the interesting part of this is that, let's say I were to throw in all of my stuff. And yes, I'm even throwing in my diamond stuff. Well, guess what? If you walk through, you grab it all. This works the same for monsters. This works the same for animals. This works the same for anything. So do keep that in mind too. Imagine transporting the Ender Dragon. No, I'm kidding. Although you probably could, if you were lucky enough to actually get a big enough of a portal anyway. So yes, you can push things through. You can set up a Minecraft or like a minecart system and railroad system and push things through that. Chests as well, etc., etc. It is all available to you. And to get rid of this, all you have to do is just right-click it again, and off you go. You can stick it in another. You can stick in another book, and you will be able to do it once more. And ooh, it even changes colors too. They changed that around, I think. I don't remember it changing so many colors, but that's okay. That kind of goes over this whole entire Mystcraft thing, and this is a really big tutorial / mod spotlight, and it goes over pretty much everything right from start to finish, which is nice because there are other mods out there that kind of do it, but they don't go into the detail, and I kind of wanted to do something a little bit different for that. So this is my final outcome. Random book flying around. Why not? Weird. Anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed. This has been KestalKayden, playing Minecraft, doing a tutorial on Mystcraft. For those that have played Myst before and Riven to Myst, or sorry, Riven, a sequel to Myst, you would probably remember a lot of this about descriptive books, linking books, and all of that. Keep in mind that you can create over 2 billion versions or worlds. You'd probably never be able to, and I wouldn't recommend it because that would probably blow up your computer. So, I hope you guys have enjoyed. I hope this has been beneficial. This has actually been a really long mod spotlight. I don't know what I can tell you guys. I hope you learned something, because I learned something just by going through this. I didn't know some of the recipes. Now I do. Like, I didn't know the recipes off by heart anyway. But yeah, it's all there. Leave a like down below, or sorry, leave a comment down below. Leave a like on my channel if you like me, and subscribe to me if you love me. I'll be doing tutorials and mod spotlights throughout the week. I'm here to stay, people. But yes, please leave a like. It really helps me out. Until next time, guys, keep modding.